of many talented Reiki practitioners here. So a little bit about Ready, Set, Reiki. Ready, Set, Reiki is a podcast about Reiki and energy work from the curious beginner to the seasoned master teacher. I'm Tracy Seawright, and I'll be your guide through this experience today. A little bit about myself. I am a yoga instructor, Reiki master, owner of Feather Sister Wellness, and Beep Beep, the Yoga Jeep. And of course, the creative force behind the podcast, Ready, Set, Reiki. So I'm going to move on to our panel here. And then after they say their introductions, we'll go and circle back to what our theme is tonight. Kaylee, you're up.
Hi, Tracy. Thank you for having me. I am a Divine Feminine Lotus Reiki Grandmaster teacher and healer, a light language Oronkana speaker, healer, and artist. I am also an Akashic Record master. I don't teach it, but I do guide you through your soul behind it, and an angelic Reiki warrior of light trainer.
I'm Tara Crowley. I'm the owner of Timeless Energy Healing, and I'm a Reiki master, kid Reiki master, animal Reiki master, and I also am attuned to hundreds of energy attunements and different modalities, and I also do pendulum healing and teach classes.
Welcome, everyone. Thanks so much for joining us. I'm honored to be here. Thank you, Tracy, and to all of the panelists. I'm Christian of Standing Stones Healing, and I have been a Reiki practitioner since 2014. I'm also a card reader, and I am the host of the Build Your Reiki Business podcast and author of the Reiki Business Ready book, with the mission to help build 10,000 Reiki businesses for a better world. So thanks so much for inviting me.
Oh, hi, I'm Millie Pampina. I'm the owner of Calma Naturale and Calmante Reiki, and both are about calming and meditation. I am a Reiki master teacher, practicing regularly. I have several free events you can pick up from my calmanaturale.com website at any time. I do some yoga nidra. I do other meditations. I also service clients with Reiki in several modalities. I enjoy it so much, and it's just been a great process for me. And I also like to play with, I don't want to say play with, be serious about my cards, my readings, and my crystals, my oils, and my pendulums. So I really enjoy this, and thank you for having me here. I am looking forward to hearing from everybody.
Hello, everyone, and thank you, Tracy, for inviting me. I am Linda Yarbrough, and I am Tracy and Millie's first Reiki teacher, and so proud of the progress that they're making in their careers. I think it's wonderful. I continue to work where Tracy and Millie learned their first Reiki classes at the Energy Connection in Irwin, Pennsylvania. And I also work out of Lifestream Spa and have my own business, Amazing Opportunities, where I have an office in my home as well. So I'm kind of spreading myself around, but I am a Reiki master teacher of Usui Reiki and Holy Fire and Karuna Reiki, and truly, truly love Reiki. It's changed my life so much and really has taken me so deeply into the spiritual nature of the energy work, and I really enjoy that. I do a lot of different modalities. My sessions can consist of shamanic work, sound healing, just whatever spirit guides me to use in a session for people. And I just really, really enjoy working with people. I used to work in corporate America for 28 years and was trying to run a business in Reiki and do that at the same time, and was able to retire from corporate America in 2018 and am now just doing my Reiki business. Where I do in-person sessions. I teach classes on all three of the levels. I have also taken many other kinds of Reiki, and it sounds like I'm going to be looking forward to Lotus Reiki here soon. there's just so much with this life that is so beautiful, and the love and the compassion that is Reiki and is what we share with so many people is just amazing to me. And so I do have a website. I have a website entitled Amazing Opportunities, and I also am shown on the energyconnection.net website, and also the Lifestream Spa website. So I can be found in lots of different places. And I do distance sessions for anyone that doesn't live near me, and really enjoy doing those as well. So that's my story.
Beautiful. See, I already told you a very impressive crew here as we begin on this journey. So thank you all for being here on this journey. So let's begin. Our theme this evening is the spiritual biz. What's it about? Where do we go? Where do we start? Now, going back to Linda, when I first sent that email, I never imagined when I sent and pressed that button that said send to her that I would ever be in this position here of having a Reiki business, let alone a podcast. So the possibilities are absolutely endless. I was unsure. She answered all of my questions. And then it was just a matter of taking that first step and then taking that first class, that first training, and then moving on to the next. And then suddenly things just started to grow and trusting the process. So if we are ready for this Ready, Set, Reiki journey, here is our first question. What was the determining factor in your decision to start a spiritual business? What was the determining factor?
I was like, I'll go first. Or Tara. My determining factor was I was unhappy. I was so done with corporate America. I moved from California to Oregon, working for the University of California and the University of Oregon. I had already had 25 years of experience with Chinese medicine, Reiki, energy work, all of it, you name it. I was speaking light language. I was doing the art and all that. And for some reason, I had this program running in my head that I have to have a day job. But inside, I was like, I've always wanted my own business. I always wanted the freedom of that. And coming here and seeing the dissatisfaction in the university, I was like, you know what? I need to start doing sessions. So I started doing sessions on the side right out the gate, along with my art and art shows. And it took off from there. Now it's just amazing having Etsy and everything else that I have with the website, YouTube, and private classes, group classes, you name it. It's exciting.
Tara?
So again, thank you for having me here, Tracy. I love these forums because it pulls in so many talented spiritual people, and I learned so much from them. I really do. I love coming together like this. So for me, the determining factor was actually the universe, because it's not like I went kicking and screaming into Reiki, but I kind of went kicking and screaming into it. So, I mean, it was just I started working kind of with energy in the early 2000s, and just came around, and it just so happened, I was a caretaker and giving away a lot of my energy and not doing my self-care as I should, and probably ignored many messages from the universe. And so then I actually was in 2 car accidents within a year, and one of them was concussion and out of work for a year, and really had to do self-care and kind of give it up and started using my self-Reiki, which, I had put off because I was in administrative full-time job and, really doing organizational counting, all that stuff. Very different from the spiritual side. So anyway, I had those 2 car accidents, was starting to do the self-Reiki, still working, not really getting it, but, taking care of myself because I had to, because all I could do was stay at home. And then a couple years later, so, I started bringing Reiki more in, but anyway, a couple years later, I was in Connecticut getting my Krispy Kremes at one of the casinos there, and decided to go for a jump in the ocean and swimming around. So I get stung by a jellyfish on my face and then had an allergic reaction. So at this point, I'm like, okay, I am missing something here. So I literally Googled, metaphysical reason for a jellyfish sting, did a deep dive, and it came out to let me see, it was like taking care of yourself, going with the flow, entanglement, and Reiki. So I was like, okay, I'm getting this now. This is where I'm supposed to go. So then, fast forward, I started taking all the classes, animal Reiki, kid Reiki, a lot of modalities and attunements. And in October of 2023, I was like just working regular day, retirement was somewhere in the future. All of a sudden, and I can't even tell you why, I called my boss and said, I'm retiring in 9 months, and literally hung up the phone. And I'm like, what did I just do? The money aspect of it, everything was like, I guess I'm doing this, right? So, but I felt such a huge release once that decision was actually made. So I'm kind of in the new part of growing a business and into the spiritual business, and absolutely love it. And I'm teaching mindfulness with Reiki courses, and I'm just doing meditations. I'm just being led in a direction that I had never planned on. So that's kind of a little bit of my backstory.
Sure. And you're as much as important as anyone on this journey, no matter where you are. So whether you're beginning, in the middle, or thinking towards or wherever you're going to go. Anyone else?
I can go. I guess, even Linda might chuckle at this one again. I had been using Reiki as a client for many, many, many years because, trauma comes into our lives and we need to figure out how to manage it. And it was starting to become very hectic after I had experienced a loss in my family. And I just stayed with it. If for whatever reason I stayed with it, I had met a lot of good practitioners. I was interested in them and how they came to where they were at, my feelings about it. And I began to feel very strongly that I needed to give back, which brought me to probably the 5th or 6th time I was looking online for Reiki training. And all of a sudden, the energy connection came up. And I was like, where was this all these times that I was thinking about going for training? And I teamed up with Linda, thank you very much, and we had our first session, Reiki 1. And I love the people who were on it. And because of COVID, we were all learning from distance Reiki. We were all doing a lot of exchanges personally with, our why we're there, our energy, what we were looking to accomplish. So that was a lot of fun because we had that opportunity. We were distant, so we had to communicate in order to know what we were doing. And I loved it. I was looking forward to more. And I had gone up to, I think, Linda's office at one point and had a Reiki treatment. And I looked around her office and said, oh my gosh, she has those bowls. She has this, she has that. She has all these cool things I want to do. And went back, thought on it for, a few weeks and retired, quit my job after 42 years. And because that was a big source of my income, but it was also a huge source of my negativity and my lack of self-care and everything that went with that. And I have been, and I remember telling Linda, she went, oh my God. And I said, no, this brought me to a good place and I'm going to continue down this road. So thank you, Linda. Thank you, Tracy, for always pushing me along. But I love it. I love everything I've done with it. I get a great personal internal warmth from doing it. And I want to share this more with others who really, I knew they were in need. There she is. But like I said, one of the things I discovered with my journey with healthcare, I was in the healthcare business, and I also was a caregiver, is the caregivers don't get quite as much focus as the patient does. And that's where I direct a lot of what I do is to the caregiver. And you could be any kind of caregiver. But a lot of people need that knowing, so they go and they do what they need to be doing for self-care. Because I always tell my clients, and when I teach, I said, you need to be number one. You need to represent, because if you are not there, you can't accomplish all these things that are stressing you right now. So let's go and get your energy fixed. Kind of like putting on the face, the air on the airplane first and then putting it on others. So that's what brought me here.
Beautiful. Linda, do you have anything to share?
Yeah, well, first of all, I have to say that Reiki, and you can see it with Millie, is an anti-aging formula. And even going back years, Millie has just, I swear she's lost 20 years at least.
That's
Looking
what
at her.
people say.
I remember the day she came in and she just had a glow about her, and she's like, I'm done. I'm retired.
And it happened so quickly to see that trust in the short time that she had been involved in Reiki, but knowing that was her thing and she was ready to take off with it. It was just beautiful to witness that, and beautiful to witness where she's at today, right along with you, Tracy. My journey kind of just morphed into itself as well. I found Reiki because I had an accident, fell down the steps at home, and could not find any relief from it at all with several things that I tried. And I went to the director at the Energy Connection, actually, and I went for a reading. So she did the reading for me, and she saw that I could barely move. I was having trouble standing up and then walking. And she said, have you ever thought about doing Reiki? And I just looked at her like she had three heads. It's like, I have no idea what that is. And so I had her explain it to me, and I thought, ooh, that sounds a little strange. And so it took me a couple months to actually come back to her for a session. But when I did, she took away my pain in that very first session. And it was amazing. So I got up off that table. I had no pain. And I had terrible pain in my hip and my leg. No pain at all. And I just looked at her and I said, what was that? And can I learn how to do it? And I took the very next class that she was holding, and 18 years later, I'm doing my own thing now, but still working with her too, which is amazing. So I started with her and I'm still there because you build such bonds with people in this work because there's so much heart-based love. And that's what I so enjoy about it, is just being able to share that love with so many people. And that goes into the spiritual aspect of it too, that we're talking about today, is you really find out who you are and where you belong in this universe. As Tara mentioned, the universe, it just kind of guides us. And that's what happened with me. It was just, I found that first step with Kathy at the Energy Connection, and then everything just fell into place. And now I'm where I'm at today, just loving life.
All right. Well, our next question, we have a lot of questions to get through. So here we go again. And I just want to acknowledge Joanne has entered our chat here. So Joanne, give everybody a little wave there. So continuing on. So you have decided to start a Reiki business, a spiritual business. What do friends and family think of this? How did your friends and family react? Anyone here on the panel want to share a short story or anything about how their family reacted to your new spiritual business?
So my family was very dismissive, really, and I was passionate. I mean, I'm passionate about energy healing. As I said, I've worked for over 20 years, and the business piece of it is new, but I'm just passionate about how it works. And they were just very dismissive. No, thank you. My friends were a little more accepting, especially after they tried it. And now we get together every year for a Reiki spa weekend. And these are friends I've had since kindergarten. So it's just so much fun. So I did run into that with my family. A couple of my sons have come around to it. But for the most part, no thanks. I'm okay, so, and that's okay. That's their choice.
Anyone else want to share?
Oh, go ahead.
Linda, go ahead.
I just wanted to say my husband, who I thought would not want anything to do with it, actually took the first level Reiki class because he wanted to see why I was so enthralled with it. And he, by career, it was a nuclear engineer, and his background was in physics. And so, he knows all about how energy works. And it's so funny because he'll be talking to someone that is having pain somewhere, and he'll look at me. If I'm there, he'll look at me and go, "You can help him, can't you?" And then he'll go on his spiel of how energy works, and we're all made up of energy and blah, blah, blah. So he is probably my biggest fan, and I love it. The rest of my family, they just kind of go, "Okay." But they've always thought I was a little weird anyway. So it's all good.
All right, Millie, you had something to share?
Oh, sorry. Yeah. Very dismissive. However, didn't care. I was, I was always someone who basically marched to my own drum beat. So, I was developing more of my connection in my circle, and I had folks like Linda and Tracy just, pulling me in and pulling me along, and Joanne, nice to see you. And it was just, it was just, I said, you know what? Maybe they will, but I do respect. I have people who have come to several events and things that I've had, and when it came to the Reiki part, they're like, "No, we're good. Let's leave the room." So, they liked the crafts, they liked the company, they liked everything, but they didn't want to participate in that. And you know what? That's okay, because I consider every party a good party. No matter how bad it is, you learn from it. So, but I'm pulling folks along. I find that over the years, and with their stressors, they come on in. So, always happy, happy, happy. I do other modalities that are not Reiki, like access bars and things like that. So they tend to agree to that side of it, because I tell them, you're using your own energy, but they don't want total commitment to the universe. So
Anyone else?
I'd say at first my family was a little put off by it. My friends, for the most part, were like, "Yeah, that's just you. You've been born this way." I've always been somewhat of an outcast myself when it comes to my family. And what I found years later, when I brought in more of the empowered force into it, the Akashic records behind it, and the light language behind it, my family started reaching out, asking me about it. Family members that I would never, ever think would ask me about Reiki or their soul were like, "So do you think that can help me with my illnesses?" I'm like, "Yeah, of course it can." "Would you like more information? Let me show you the door to Reiki."
Beautiful.
I like that.
Wonderful. So you have the business name, you have a little bit of a plan, you're getting ready. What has been a successful way for you to attract clients? What has been a successful way for you to attract clients? Haley.
Being unequivocally myself.
Mm-hmm.
Speaking my truth and living my truth from the powerful experiences that Reiki has brought me, and listening to what doing. So through the great suffering that I went through, and then the evolution of 25 years ago, when I had gotten in accidents and stuff like that too, and learned about acupressure, went to the Acupressure Institute, learned about Reiki, and went through many, many other crazy life events and surgeries and all kinds of stuff. But every time, Reiki was always there, being that powerhouse behind the answers that I just couldn't find in other sources. Chinese medicine, bringing those other answers that I just couldn't find. The Akashic records, my soul giving me different answers I couldn't find. Using that to intuitively guide me to say, "Hey, this is what I have to help you with yours. This is what I have for you." And it just it's just interesting. As soon as I started saying my doors are open, I started getting people coming in through the door, coming in through my online business, wanting sessions, wanting classes. Even my old massage therapist and her whole family came in to learn Reiki from me. So it was like, it just once you start putting yourself out there and seeing that we have so many abundant free resources to say, hey, this is what I have to offer you. If you want it or not, it's your choice. It's a gift to live in the time that we do now. From the beginning times when I first started Reiki, when it was like, oh my God, is it going to work?
Love that. Anyone else like to share? Sarah?
So just more on a more practical nature, what I started doing was putting together like a little portfolio and dropping it off at different places where I thought I could do target clients, like at the senior centers, the Chamber of Commerce, the vets, the veterinarians in the area. So kind of did that. The other thing was the Chamber of Commerce has been great for me to get it out there. Word of mouth, offer free classes or discounts. And social media. I mean, I'm really new to social media and working my way around that, but that's kind of where I've started out with.
Beautiful, beautiful. Christian, you've been very quiet. Believe me, he's a wealth of wisdom here.
Well, thank you, Tracy. When it comes to getting clients, the first thing that I really want to encourage everyone with is to do what feels right to and resonates with you, because there are as many ways to find clients as it's infinite, just like Reiki is infinite. And what matters is what feels right to and aligned for us. And for me, how clients have come to me, the ways are numerous, but talking about Reiki is so very important. And so going out and having Reiki talks and offering workshops is one thing that has really worked for me, and something that is often really hard for us as newer Reiki business owners to put ourselves out there and just talk about Reiki. Especially, we can have a hard time just even explaining what Reiki is. But the more we can do that, the better. And so I really encourage, it's worked for me, getting out there and just having conversations about Reiki. And then, of course, the plenty of other ways too, social media and referrals and word of mouth. And like I said, the ways are simply numerous and endless, but definitely do what feels right to and aligned for you on this journey.
Beautiful. And where can we find your book?
Oh, thanks, Tracy. My Reiki Business Ready book is available on all Amazon marketplaces. So all across the world, you can grab that. That really talks about the ways to know that you're ready for a Reiki business. And it does talk about talking about Reiki and how important that is for us.
Beautiful, beautiful. Thank you for writing that. And, this is people on the journey here who are our guides, right? Who've been through it before. And he's the one there. Hey, here's a little map for you. I got it. So know that you don't have to do this by yourself. There's helpers there. Remember, Mr. Rogers said, look for the helpers. So they're Christianists. So thank you so much. So TikTok banned for what? 24 hours and back again. How has social media, TikTok, Facebook, Instagram changed the way spiritual business is being handled? Is this a good thing for the spiritual business, or do you think there's something negative about it? Kaylee.
I think it can be a beautiful powerhouse for the gift of Reiki, especially Gyondora Hasa, awakening light language frequencies within the soul. As a Grand Master, I'm able to carry the frequencies of Lotus Reiki or the angelic Reiki through the sounds of my voice, of course, only when it's appropriate. But I'm able to give people a glimpse through my YouTube, through TikTok, Facebook, whatever it is, an essence of the feeling that it feels like to receive Reiki, what it feels like to, hey, what is the Akashic Records? What is light language? to what that the gift that can give us. And then, hey, by the way, now that you've experienced it, if you'd like to jump in, you can join me in classes. It's a gift to have that. Yes, there are some downfalls. You have to be willing to be, I love you, but no, get off my page. You have to be willing to say no to people that are maybe spammers or scammers and constantly trying to, suck on your energy or your beautiful group and community. I've been really successful in creating an amazing group on Facebook and YouTube and TikTok. And I announce it. If I'm in the middle of a live and I'm bringing in some beautiful energy and I see some cha-cha going on, which is my word for negativity, by the way, I'm like, you know what? This space is a sacred container for all those wishing to receive this healing. If you bring any negativity whatsoever or cha-cha to my page, you will be banned. And I watched 25 people jump off right away. So you gotta use that voice.
I love it. Cha-cha. See, this is how this is informative. We learn from each other here. So might be my new word of the week.
I know. I like that.
Right? I love it. You think of that little girl, cha-cha-cha, cha-cha-cha, cha-cha-cha. Anyone else have something to add?
I do.
All right, Millie?
Just real quick. One thing I know is, I agree with Kristen 1,000%. If you can't get it out there and you can't talk about it and you can't put it in front of people, how honestly are they going to understand that they're at least somewhat curious about it? They don't know. So I use Facebook. I do have TikTok accounts and Instagram accounts and things, which I've used as well. I was a little disappointed about TikTok going away this weekend, but happy to see it again. But the truth be told is, I have hundreds of people on Facebook and they're going to get on anyway, 99% of them. So, it gives me a little opportunity to put a little informative blurb out there, invite them to events, honor their desire to push those forward, fight spammers. Again, like this, my goodness. And also redirect people to my website where I really like to have them go. So I'll just say, hey, look, if you want to get more, go to my website, get the links for the website, and they'll go out there. I can see the stats, as we all can with websites, that people are heading there. But I do think it's a great communications tool. I try to keep what I post out there very short, very succinct, and very informative. I found recently that just using cute pictures of dogs doing various, things, all of a sudden I had a lot, Kristen, forgive me. I had a lot of guys get on and go, oh, I like this, because it was something that they were attracted to. And I said, oh, never thought about dogs as a marketing tool, but I have dogs. So fair enough. And just little things like that. But I love the people I meet, and I love the people that, come forward and follow or friend me. And I look when I get a spammer, they're not very clever. You can tell who they are out there. Mm-hmm. I just get rid of them. I just block them. So it's a little cat and mouse game every day. But yes, I do agree. Social media is what it is. It's here to stay. Let's take advantage of it.
Beautiful. Anyone else would like to share? Christian.
I would, Tracy. Yeah, thank you. The thing with social media platforms is that they come and go. And who knows what the next one is going to be, right? And who knows when a platform is going to suddenly end. I agree with Millie with the idea of encouraging our followers, that people we might meet on social media, to go to our website, because for many of us, that's where we are booking clients, selling our products. And if we think of it kind of like our store, it's like bringing people to our storefront by getting them from social media to our website. But, no matter what platform we're on, and no matter what platform might come or go, what doesn't come and go and what stays the same is the love that we bring, the compassion that we bring, the energy that we bring. And that's what really matters. And that's what really endures, no matter what platform we're on.
Beautiful. Well said. Well said. I mean,
Yes.
it's really a wonderful tool, that we can use to expand our territory, because just think, many of us on here, this is how we connect, right? It's doing these podcasts and going on the lives and connecting to us. It's really helping us share and spread Reiki through the world. So you have your business plan, you have your name, you have the type of modalities that you want. You decide if you want online or you're going to do this in person. What has been the biggest challenge that you're facing in your business? The biggest challenge you're facing right now in your business? Anyone? Tara?
I think the biggest challenge for me, literally just started the actual business itself in July, is just getting my name out there, and getting the marketing piece of it. And a couple things that have been really helpful with that challenge is you, Tracy, giving me that opportunity to do a meditation class and really just being available to answer questions. Like even we talked about Canva earlier and different things like that. So it's the connections you make that really help me overcome that challenge. And the other thing that I have found is just maybe to get my name out there, other than, all the things we've talked about, is I'm doing it. See, I'm huge with the ocean. I'm ocean based. It's my soul. And I bring ocean into everything I do with my Reiki and energy healing. So I'm sponsoring a polar plunge to benefit the vets and friends in our town. So, and that's going to be sponsored by me. So I think that will I hope, bring in the talk of Reiki, draw people to my website on, with the information that's there. And the other thing I'm doing is a symposium on support for your end of life spiritual journey. And that's bringing in a lot of different people. And I think that will get the talk of Reiki going. And it's just a little different approach, but that's the challenge I'm with now. And that's just what I'm trying to do to address it.
Right. You're being fluid, right? Working with water, but yeah, you're going with the flow with this. Well done. Anyone else would like to share? Kaylee?
I think my biggest challenge has been with Etsy. They technically don't allow Reiki, but technically they don't know what light language is. So technically I have to be mindful. It's kind of one of those weird, like, I want to rebel against you and I want to put all my Reiki stuff on Etsy. And then there's this other part of me where it's like, well, you know what? Etsy's a great resource for the light language part of it and for the light language art and the Akashic records to expand it. So I've had this little like tug of war going on. However, everything's on the website. So it's like what Christian was saying is like, just making sure that we're connecting people to our website above the rest of those things. I mean, obviously it's personal choice, but I'd have to say that is one of my biggest challenge. And I actually called Etsy out and I said, so if you guys don't allow Reiki, then why are there sellers creating symbols and all these crystals and all these things on there? And why do you have a category for it?
Sure. So I have things Reiki on Etsy as well, and tarot readings. So that's what yeah.
They allow tarot, they allow psychic readings, but they don't allow Reiki. So it's like,
Anyone else want to share?
I guess, when did we start this, Tracy? About March. So I haven't even been out there really for a year working to bring, the customers in. And it is difficult getting name recognition and getting out there and doing those types of things. So, God bless Tracy. I've never seen somebody hustle as much as she does, but I honestly, that wasn't what I wanted to do. So,
of course,
I'm trying to be a lot more subtle, but again, driving them towards my website. I did even have, Kylie, to your point, some problems with some payment sites because they went on my website and saw the word donation. They said, we don't manage donations. And it took several back and forths to get that straightened out. And I said, okay, we'll just call it something else then,
Yeah.
But pay. I see people out there, pay what you like, pay what you can, pay. No use of the word donation, and that was a bit of a stumbling block for me as well. But haven't attacked Etsy yet. I have an account, but I haven't gone out there yet with that. But that's great information. Why they don't want to see energy healing, but they're okay with other things. It's really beyond me. And I do like Etsy. So
Yeah.
we'll be looking around. Maybe we can all exchange our favorites.
Anyone else want to share? All right, we'll have 2 more questions to wrap it up, and then we will have our last words. All right, so how do you manage appointment schedulings and communication? Is there a specific kind of scheduling system that works for you?
Well, sorry. Real quick, I work with Tracy with her wellness site. I do like that. And I also use events on Facebook, which has been extremely easy to use, and redirecting people from there is absolutely no problem. I've never had one person call me and say, gee, I can't get onto this event, or I can't get there from Facebook. So that's what I have been using, and it's been working well. For in-person treatments and things, I have several this week. I direct them to my website, because this is a big issue with spammers. And I tell them, send me a contact or whatever. And if they send me a contact, I'll say, I want to meet you for a free 30-minute consultation. And if they show up, we go from there. I personally will do that for them. But I am going to be publishing a calendar on my website sometime soon. Again, I was doing it before, but I found it difficult to keep up with. But yeah, I do like all those Facebook and wellness living. It was very, very easy.
Okay. Anyone else would like to share? Tara?
I just use Calendly, and I've had good luck with that.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Anyone else? Kaylee?
I use Wix for my website, and it has built-in services so that they can book, because I service the whole world. So I make sure there's an option in there what time zone you're on, and my Zoom is connected to it.
Sure.
And then through Etsy, I just book them directly, and then I make sure that I've blocked off the time on my calendar. I have a secret sauce, though, as I used to schedule for attorney's office, so I can see it.
Sure. All right. Wonderful. Last question. How do you bring yourself from burnout or the feeling of wanting to give up? Oh, here we go. I'm ready.
Yeah. First of all, that wanting to give up is so normal. Like, we've all been there, and we're all going to be there over and over again. And so it's a completely normal part of the process. But absolutely, Reiki is here to support us. And so I believe that our own self-Reiki practice is just essential as Reiki business owners, because we really need it to support us through the challenges of starting and building a Reiki business. And so I really encourage all of us to lean on Reiki and to use Reiki. And that definitely has helped me throughout the years, for sure.
Beautiful. And Christian, you have a podcast. You want to tell everyone where we can find your podcast to listen, since it is about the business of Reiki, to go in a little bit. We're giving you a little bit of taste, a little bit of an appetizer, but you're going to Christian for the whole meal here.
Well, thanks, Tracy, very much. Yeah, as a matter of fact, you can tune in to the podcast. It's called Build Your Reiki Business Podcast, and you can tune into that podcast on all podcast platforms, Apple, Spotify. You can ask Alexa to play Build Your Reiki Business. And you can go directly to my website too. There's a link there for the podcast to tune in. So thank you. Each week there's a new episode on Mondays. So thanks.
Beautiful, beautiful. And you also have a Facebook page, correct?
Yeah, yep. I got all kinds of things, Tracy.
Okay.
Yeah.
So
And if anyone wants to join my Facebook group, it is called the Reiki Business Collective. So it is a Facebook group of Reiki business owners and Reiki practitioners who are considering starting a Reiki business. And everyone is welcome to join the Reiki Business Collective, no matter where you are on your Reiki journey.
Beautiful. Anyone else want to share about burnout or the feeling of wanting to give up, as you're advertising and putting things out there and, you're just starting and you're not getting any feedback. Those feelings can be overwhelming. Kaylee?
I agree with Christian. Reiki breaks are a mandatory thing. They're non-negotiable. Self-love, self-care, Reiki breaks are literally the gift that's kept me going, being of service for Etsy, YouTube, and my clients from all over the world. Non-negotiables, having them before you even start your day, doing my yoga, Tai Chi, meditation, whatever it is, and then starting my day, making sure you stick to your own hours as much as possible. We are givers, we are lovers, we love Reiki, we love sharing the beautiful essence of it for the world, but we also have to make sure we're sharing it with ourselves.
Beautiful. Tara, did you have something to add?
Just again, it's believing in yourself. It's absolutely the self-care, the self-Reiki, but it's also having a network. It's also having that support and mentors and people who are going through the same thing or have gone through it, and to get that support. And that's really what's helped me through it. And sending Reiki to my website or to my business or to my timeline and moving it forward. But I mean, just pulling the Reiki into everything. And that's what's really helped me.
Yeah, people don't think about, let me Reiki my, business card, right? Or my website. They forget that too, right? Just finding what area in your life has more, what is excess or not enough. Yeah. Anyone else? Joanne, would you like to you have something to say about maybe having burnout?
Usually it's not with Reiki though.
Yeah, well, any tips?
I'm not anywhere. I'm not as far as you guys are with your businesses, but I would like to have my own. And this gave me some really great ideas and things to work into, so I can get out of what I'm doing right now.
Beautiful.
It's okay what I'm doing, but I just rather do something on my own.
You are exactly where you need to be, so it's all good. So, like, when you get burned out, is there something that kind of renourishes your soul?
Just being out in nature. I just, just go step
Beautiful.
back.
Very good.
That helps.
Linda, did you want to share anything?
What I was thinking about is through my journey with Reiki is that there always is an ebb and a flow. And so you have to expect that it's not always going to be the same the whole way through the process. It ebbs and it flows. But what I have found is that there are reasons behind that. And it could be that it's ebbing just because you do need that time for yourself. You need to address what's going on within you. And maybe there are things that are surfacing that you need to work on at that particular time. And I've been finding a lot of that over the past year. So just recognizing that those ebbs and flows are okay. It's going to be a normal part of your process.
Beautiful. Well, that wraps up all of our questions here. So if you would like to share any final words, anything that you want to send off to those listeners and people who are watching, we can go around. And, if you don't feel called to share, that's fine, but you can take this opportunity. So Kaylee, if you'd like to start.
I would say don't ever give up. if Reiki calls to your heart, keep going and don't listen to the cha-cha of what everybody else has to say, because what your heart sings to you is what your heart sings to you. Reiki sung to my heart the first time I ever received an attunement during a session. It was just that driving force to keep you going. Keep going.
Beautiful. Anyone else? Tara?
I'm just going to say, just, it's kind of like just believe in yourself, trust your gut instinct, trust your intuition, and just be mindful of messages you're receiving from the universe. They're out there, whether it's numbers or nature or, license plates even. And I mean, there are messages for all of us. So just be mindful and just believe in yourself.
Beautiful. Anyone else?
Ask the universe for help. The universe, the divine, they're all around us all of the time. Don't be afraid to ask them for help, because they're waiting for us to ask. It can make our journey a lot easier.
Agreed.
Wonderful. Anyone else? Christian?
Yeah, thank you. Just be gentle with yourself. The Reiki business journey has its ups and downs. It has its challenges. You'll have your good days and your bad days, and just be gentle with yourself through the whole process. Be kind to yourself, and give yourself some credit for moving forward and trying something that is not easy. So thank you so much, and I'm sending lots of blessings and best wishes to everyone's Reiki business journey.
Beautiful.
Thank you.
Thank you. Millie, do you have any other parting words?
Well, I fortunately I haven't experienced the burnout yet, but I have interests in so many things that when I feel that I want to break, I just trust the feedback I'm getting. I call it my downloads. And it gives me an opportunity to either make some kind of a mid-course correction or just explore something different. And that's okay. We can't, I wouldn't eat the same thing every day. So nobody should feel obligated to do the same thing all the time. So I enjoy changing, going to classes, working on yoga with Tracy and other things, and things that I never would have done. I don't consider myself someone who would have been a yogi, but here I am trying to kill it. So, just take, just understand that there's so much out there. There's so much good food to eat. Try something new tomorrow. And try something new in these modalities. That it's all there. And every one of these people I know on this this podcast has something just a little bit different in every one of their approaches and businesses. So get out there and check it out. So it's very, 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 very satisfying. I can't even express how much. So thank you.
Anyone else? Good.
Oh, there's Joanne.
Joanne? Unmute yourself. There we go.
Hi. I just want to say thank you to all of you. It's been just really a pleasure to listen to everything and to see what you have to offer. And I think I've seen Christian maybe once or twice. I'm not sure about Kaylee though, but so glad to know you, some new people too.
All right. Well, thank you everyone for joining me on this journey. I hope that you can take some of this information and kind of weave it into your life. And so you have everyone's connections here, how to reach out. If you have any further questions, check out Christian's podcast. And if you want to go in a little bit deeper than what we did tonight. So thank you everyone for joining me. My name's Tracy Seawright, and this has been Ready, Set, Reiki. Thank you everyone. Sprinkling Reiki and love to all. Have a wonderful morning, afternoon, or evening.